One great option for couch gaming are gaming handhelds. They have seen a resurgence during the last few years, and we're not just talking about regular consoles like the Nintendo Switch. We mean handhelds where you can emulate multiple retro systems, play local games, or of course, stream your favorite cloud gaming titles. Now, with such a big offer of brands, sizes, prices and different OS, which one should you choose? Let's find out here what's the best handheld for you. Roughly speaking, I will say we can divide handhelds into three broad categories. They are both separated by their OS and their price point. This will be Linux-based handhelds, Android-based handhelds, and Windows-based handhelds. They are usually cheaper. They get installed with a dedicated OS and they are clearly oriented towards emulation. The OS they come with stock from the factory is usually not the best option, even if they work, and with a bit of tinkering you can get some better solutions installed there. Probably something like Batocera with emulation station, but it will require a bit of setup. I've done this in the past and it's pretty straightforward, but I will never be able to explain it as well as Retro Game Corps. So I'm going to direct you towards that. It's one of my favorite channels and Rush, the creator, is one of my YouTube heroes. Battery life is usually great. Emulation, broadly speaking, will work very well up to PS2, depending on the specific device that you go for. In general, one of the best advantages is the possibility to find the best form factor for you, since there are so many options here: widescreen, portrait, foldable, really small, etc. Anbernic is by far the main provider of devices here. Powkiddy and Trim UI or even the smaller Miyus are other possibilities. They are usually very versatile. It's basically a phone, but strictly for gaming. Now, I've used a phone for gaming, even with Bluetooth gaming controllers or telescopic controllers, and it's good, but it still can't beat the feeling of a proper dedicated gaming handheld. Usually these handhelds are more expensive than Linux ones, but cheaper than Windows ones. They have great battery life. You can definitely play emulation, especially with a good front end. I personally use Daigiso, which is free. But you can also play Android games and do cloud gaming. Emulation-wise, for consoles you can emulate on the higher end almost everything that Android allows for, which is up to PS2 and Switch. On higher end devices like the Odin 2, you can do some basic Windows emulation as well. One of the few drawbacks for Android is that it gets obsolete faster than other OS. For instance, I own an Odin Lite and it's stuck to Android 11 and is not going to get any further updates. Reference models here will be the Odin 2, the Retroid Pocket, the Logitech G Cloud. Also extremely versatile. It's a bit of a double edge because with Windows you can run pretty much everything, but on the other hand it's a really poorly optimized OS for a small form factor. These are the most expensive handhelds by a long shot. The best ones, something like the Rog Ally X, are priced like a laptop. Battery life is usually a big problem. You really have to keep an eye on your battery and it depends a lot on what you are running. CPU intensive games will drain your battery incredibly fast. You can play Windows games natively and of course emulation isn't a problem at all. You can even emulate PS3 and Xbox, which is a big deal. Form factor tends to be bigger than other categories, which might be a handicap or a benefit depending on what you're looking for. Although you can also connect TV with the other categories of handhelds, these models have very specific docking units that allow you to get very quick connection with an external screen, turning this basically into a small gaming PC that you can carry around if needed. I'm going to include the Steam Deck here, although I'm aware it's not factory fitted with Windows, but with SteamOS. For its intended use, its price point and its form factor, it totally belongs into this category. Reference models are the Steam Deck, the Asus ROG Ally X, or even the Lenovo Legion Go. So there you go. This is a very broad view on the actual market for gaming handhelds. Now, which one should you choose? This depends on your actual needs. If you need something small that you can take on a daily basis for trips or play anywhere like the bus or a plane, then I will generally go for a Linux or Android console and forget about the higher priced handhelds. Something like the Retroid Pocket 4 Pro or the smaller Anbernic RG35XX-H. If you are looking for something beefier that can play most of the stuff and a small form factor isn't that important, you do need a longer battery and something that isn't a lot bigger than a phone, then the Odin 2 is the perfect pick for you. Finally, if you need the best possible hardware to run modern games and are willing to spend some money, and you don't mind a bigger form factor, or you're looking for it, then the ROG Ally X or the Steam Deck would be my best picks. There are other models that can be good for specific reasons. If you strictly want cloud gaming, streaming and nothing else, then the Logitech G Cloud is a good candidate. If I want something really small and pocketable, the Miyoo Mini Plus fits the bill. Of course, all of this is my opinion. Feel free to let me know in the comments if you think I missed another good option, which might be the case since the market is really big right now. I hope all of this helped, or at least entertained you. If it did, please click like and subscribe to help the channel so that I can create more content like this. At any rate, thanks for watching and enjoy your gaming in a relaxed setting.